Tesla has been the top name in electric vehicles for some time now, but others are starting to make the news nearly as much. Nobody is yet delivering EVs in numbers quite like Tesla, but other EV startups are starting their first deliveries, which is very exciting to see. There are companies including Lucid, Rivian, Canoo, Lordstown, Fisker, and many more promising great electric cars. But the only new companies we've seen deliveries from, aside from Tesla for years now, of course, are Lucid and Rivian. To me, one of the most exciting new EV companies is Rivian. So far, they have taken pre-orders for two vehicles that they've introduced, the R1T and R1S. Today I'm going to break down why I'm buying a Rivian R1T in 2022, how the process is going, and when I'm expecting delivery, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Finimize for sponsoring a portion of this video. Teslas have been the cars I've been most excited about for a while now. They still have a number of advantages over any other EV maker, like their supercharger network. But one thing my wife and I started noticing is that we like going off the beaten path. Teslas are designed for roads. They function well off-road, but in a Model 3, a Model S, or even a Model Y, pulling off onto a dirt or especially rocky road can be a bit worrisome. We've only had once where this was actually an issue, but Teslas just feel like cars that you really need to be careful with. When pulling up on a curb, you have to ensure you don't curb rash the wheels, and they ride very low to the ground. There have also been a number of times recently where I needed to carry a truly large amount of cargo and wasn't able to fit it in a Model 3 or Y. I've been finding myself needing a very large amount of cargo space for the first time in my life. On the other side of things, I review Teslas and EVs on this channel and also leverage the cars I buy on Turo. I currently rent out a 2021 Plaid Model S and am looking to expand which cars are available there. A Rivian would do very well on Turo, and I started noticing a pattern of all of these new EVs coming out. They are available for pre-order, and by the time they are ready to ship, that list is very long. Due to the backlog of orders and the slow ramp of production, you will be waiting a couple years before you'll get your car. Additionally, the price will often increase prior to the vehicle actually shipping. I love owning electric cars and truly testing them out to report my experience on this channel, and I was particularly interested in the R1T. A lot of cool features like the adjustable suspension, gear tunnel, automatic front trunk, and more made me particularly excited about this one over others. So on December 18th, I was looking at the R1T online and just decided to place an order. It's a refundable deposit, so worst case, I change my mind and get my $1,000 back. At the time, I was expecting it would probably be a couple years before I'd get this car. The email from Rivian confirming my order date said, before your delivery date, you'll be able to secure financing and insurance and arrange for a trade-in if you have one. We'll also introduce you to your guide who will be your go-to person for all things Rivian, helping you through the entire purchase process and beyond. Shortly after, I changed the wheel option, figuring that changing far in advance is probably best. Rivian always said that changing your configuration wouldn't hurt your place in line, but to a degree I'm sure it does, especially if your place in line is approaching. On December 28th, after obsessing over this car for over a week, my wife and I drove out to the Rivian Venice hub. This is their only store of sorts, and they had multiple R1Ts on display. You couldn't drive them, but we got to sit inside, feel what the truck is like, mess around with all the features it has, check out the sound system and everything. They even had the tent on display, which was awesome to see. My wife is especially outdoorsy, so she loved everything about this truck. I loved all the extra storage like the gear tunnel, the functionality of the truck bed and the understorage beneath the truck bed, and the software. It was different than Tesla, but similar in the ways that I liked. It also felt super comfortable inside, had ventilated seats and more. It felt like the right blend of new and old tech for me. We were completely sold. Not only could this be great to review and potentially rent out, we actually would love to own it. I went home and watched every possible review I could of this car and couldn't stop thinking about it. Then came the Rivian pricing debacle, and we'll get there in just a minute. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Finimize. Finimize is an app that helps you become a smarter investor in just 10 minutes a day, delivering all the insights and tools you need to make smarter financial decisions. The app gives you daily morning briefs provided by unbiased financial experts and world-class analysts to help you spot under-the-radar opportunities in tech, stocks, personal finance, and more. You have the option to either read or listen to them too, which makes it super easy to stay up to date no matter how busy you are. I love this app because it helps people be more confident in what they invest in. You have the ability to connect with thousands of smart investors in private groups and live events. My favorite feature of this app, though, is quick takes. When you click on the Explore tab, there are quick takes that include, quote, a chart broken down by our analysts. There's tons of great info about what is going on in the market as a whole, and I'm a visual person, so I can absorb it in no time. I also love the habit reminder feature that helps me remember to stay on top of the news each morning. Click the link in the description below to get a 7-day free trial of Finimize and 40% off their premium subscription. Become a smarter investor in just minutes. On that same day, Rivian sent an update from RJ. There was a lot of info in this email about where Rivian was at with production, but nothing concrete regarding my order, of course. Around this time as well is where I saw Rivian truly delivering R1Ts. Launch editions were getting fulfilled, and then deliveries have been consistently increasing since then. However, the process is very much like Tesla. No real clear timeline and very little communication along the way. Then on January 27th, I finally got my first delivery estimate. The email said, your adventure package R1T estimated delivery window will be the second half of 2023. It was disappointing, but nice to see a realistic delivery window and not something I would get ready for and know wasn't actually possible. Cybertruck. Anyways, in March of this year is when Rivian had their price increase debacle. Rivian's email started with, quote, as our production continues to ramp up, we want to share new information that affects your Rivian pre-order. Essentially, Rivian introduced a new cheaper variant, but made that the price we had all ordered at and told all order holders that their trucks would be around $12,000 to $16,000 more expensive when taking delivery. At the time, this honestly didn't surprise me much, as Tesla had been raising their prices consistently throughout the year, and I wasn't expecting delivery for a couple years anyway, but Rivian received a ton of backlash for this. People were upset that their $1,000 pre-orders didn't hold any sort of value for the price, and as a result to tons of feedback and vehicle cancellations, Rivian ended up walking this back. Rivian's CEO said, earlier this week we announced pricing increases that broke the trust we had worked to build with you. He explained why they must raise prices, but went on to say, quote, as we worked to update pricing to reflect these cost increases, we wrongly decided to make these changes apply to all future deliveries, including pre-existing configured pre-orders. We failed to appreciate how you viewed your configuration as price locked, and we wrongly assumed the announced dual motor and standard range pack would provide configurations that would deliver price points similar to your original configuration. While this was the logic, it was wrong and we broke your trust in Rivian. Ultimately, they officially announced that for anyone with a Rivian pre-order as of March 1st pricing announcement, your original configured price will be honored. If you canceled your pre-order on or after March 1st and would like to reinstate it, we will restore your original configuration, pricing, and delivery timing. So immediately, this made my pre-order that much more valuable. In theory, I will be taking delivery of a vehicle that is worth around $15,000 more than I'm paying for it. If you ordered today, you'd have to pay that much more, and for me, absolute worst case scenario, I could take delivery, use it a bit on the channel, and then sell it for a profit. To be clear, this is not my plan, but it is a viable backup option and a reason to keep my order. People want this truck, and Rivian can only make them so fast as they are making cars for the first time. About 2 weeks after this occurred, I received an email from Rivian saying, explore the R1T with First Mile Mobile Drive. These are test drives where they come to you and you check out the car one-on-one with a Rivian employee. I of course signed up immediately because I had been waiting to drive this car, and one funny thing about this email is the timing was shortly after this pricing debacle. Because of this, the email finishes with, we appreciate the chance to earn back your trust and give you confidence you've made the right move by pre-ordering a Rivian electric adventure vehicle. Another email from Rivian let us know that our account had been officially updated to reflect the pre-March price increase. We finally scheduled our drive for May 11th, and it was exactly what we expected. The truck was awesome in person and drove unlike any truck I've ever been in. We did notice one small issue with some wind noise in the back window, and that's kind of what I was expecting, especially coming from Tesla. We went up to the mountains near us a little bit, and it was so much fun to drive it. He was also very helpful and clearly had a lot to show us in a very short amount of time. Overall, this was just a fun experience offered by Rivian because we were already convinced. I would say it sealed the deal, but it was more like we went, yes, it's as good as we expected, and we're told. They took our photo with it too. This was fun, but again, I expected it to be a couple years. Then on June 11th, Rivian sent another updated delivery window. This time, my estimate was way earlier. Previously, Rivian told me the second half of 2023, but in June, they told me, your Adventure Package R1T estimated delivery window is December 2022 to January 2023. This is about 12 months earlier than I was expecting at all, so this was super exciting and a tad bit stressful. I now had less time to plan for how I'm paying for this car and what I'm doing with the car I currently drive. Drive. At the same time, I was very skeptical. I'm used to Tesla delays, and Rivian is another level of mystery with timelines since they're so new. We were loosely expecting that maybe it could come by the end of the year, but not getting our hopes up at all. After this, the revised EV tax credit passed as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. Ultimately, the revision would make Rivian vehicles ineligible come 2023. However, there was a loophole that Rivian took advantage of really quickly. If you signed a binding purchase agreement in 2022, you could still get the current $7,500 tax credit come April. Rivian sent an email about this, so I went ahead and signed it. I figured the car wouldn't actually come in this time window, and I'd be looking at 2023, so I may as well sign it. The only caveat is that $100 of your $1,000 refundable deposit becomes non-refundable. So worst case, I cancel my order and only get $900 back. I had no intention of canceling though. Then, out of the blue on August 24th, I got an email from Rivian with the subject, "Your configuration is ready to confirm." Hi Ryan, exciting news, we're ready to build your vehicle. We ask that you review your configuration before confirming. You can call your Rivian guide to make changes, which can delay your delivery. I couldn't believe it. When a Tesla gets to this step, it pretty much means you have a VIN and could get delivery in a couple days, so I was very excited. When I went to confirm, I knew not to change any vehicle details, but did need to update my delivery address, so I scheduled a call with a Rivian guide the next morning. On the 25th, I talked with my guide, we updated the address, confirmed the configuration, and he gave me a little background info on what timing is looking like. He said that this is pretty unusual. They are still fulfilling orders from people who ordered in 2019 or 2020, and I ordered in December. I'm sure some people watching this are wondering why their orders aren't delivered yet, and this is something I've seen from many startups like this, including Tesla. Somehow I got matched with a car to where I needed to confirm, so they must have had something available heading to my area that matched my configuration or something. As for timing, he said I'd probably get an update on a VIN within 24 to 48 hours. My 8-step portal will open and I can get started with trade-in, financing, and insurance, but won't want to do final payment or insurance locking in until I have an official delivery date. At this point, the vehicle could be in Normal, Illinois, still at the factory, or it could be at a service center near me. That means if it's near me, it could take a week or two, or up to 2 months in the worst case scenario if it's at the factory. From the factory, it could take 4 to 8 weeks to arrive at my local Rivian center, and then 1 to 2 weeks for them to inspect it and then deliver it to me. I was hopeful that it would happen quickly, but was expecting a VIN in a day or two. Instead, I opened my portal, added my title and registration info, trade-in info, financing info, and then when I clicked the insurance tab, I saw my VIN. I had a VIN within 5 minutes of confirming my order with my Rivian guide. Pretty crazy to actually see a VIN for this truck. Also to note, my VIN is in the 10,000s. That's a pretty cool milestone that they have already made over 10,000 R1Ts. Then I went to the vehicle overview page and saw the VIN there as well, my progress on steps and delivery date TBD. Throughout this process, I received a number of emails from Rivian about beginning the purchase process, a checklist of all the necessary steps, and third-party financing instructions since I'll be using a credit union. The last part requires me to upload a photo of the check and add a tracking number into my portal once that is in progress. I'll be scheduling all of that once I get a locked-in delivery date. At the same time, I also reached out to Rivian's own insurance to get a quote and compare with other insurance. At this point, I still don't know if I could receive this car in a week or 10 weeks, so I wanted to be ready and not cause any delays. Also, who knows, maybe they will give a VIN away if you aren't ready, as Tesla has been known to do. I texted my Rivian guide and we talked again just about an hour after talking previously because the VIN got assigned so quickly. He was able to confirm with me that the car is located in Normal right now. That means it has been produced, they are likely doing final inspections at the factory, and it still could be 4 to 8 weeks to ship to me. I was a little sad about this because I had read of people taking delivery immediately, and I was hoping it was in Orange County or something close. In any case, once it ships from the factory, it'll then be at a Rivian center doing final inspections, and then we'll schedule a delivery date. He said to touch base with him if I haven't heard anything in 2 weeks. It's killing me a little bit inside because now I just have to wait for a very undetermined amount of time, but I know it'll be worth it and that I'm for sure getting the truck since I am assigned a VIN. I know that I'm very lucky there. It's just very different than Tesla, where if you have a VIN, they basically have the car ready for you within a few days and they want you to take it as soon as possible. So I received a VIN for this truck 9 months after ordering, which seems pretty lucky based on what I've seen in forums. My theory is that signing the binding purchase agreement to lock in the tax incentive may be a recently added order confirmation of sorts that tells Rivian that buyers are serious. It's just a guess, but maybe signing that made my order order a higher priority over others with this exact configuration, it became available and they assigned it to me. The closest answer I have as to how long I'm going to be waiting here came from someone on the Rivian forum who said they got a VIN and it took 4 weeks for it to be delivered by rail to them in Southern California. So maybe in a month I'll be posting my first video with this vehicle. I can't wait, and I'm really excited to see what this EV is like from a completely different company in a completely different vehicle category than I'm used to from Tesla. At this point, we are buying this car to use, go on road trips with, and review on this channel. I think it'll be a daily driver for us, but I'll keep you posted on how we're liking it in practice. Ultimately, I'm buying it this year because Rivian pushed up my delivery to this year. I was expecting 2023 at the earliest, but got extremely lucky based on what I've seen. If you're interested in all the steps along the way from here, before I take delivery, you can follow me on Twitter at RyanShawTech, and I'll post smaller updates there. In the meantime, if you want to see my full review of the Tesla Model S Plaid after 10 months, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.